Hey everyone, if you're a family living in Mississauga or you're thinking about moving here, I made this video just for you. I'm going to walk you through the 5 of the best neighborhoods for families in Mississauga. And I'm not just going to tell you this area is really nice. I'm going to actually break down what matters when you're raising a family here. I'm going to give you house prices, the great schools, parks, safety, and the overall vibe. So by the end of this video, you're going to have a really clear picture of which of these neighborhoods might be the perfect fit for you. Let's get into it. So let's start with East Credit. Now this is a little bit of a hidden gem here. East Credit is one of those neighborhoods that not many people know the name, but it's amazing. And the reason is I've actually been living here with my family for over 12 years. It is very centrally located. As you can see here, you've got the Credit River on the west side running along, and then it's super convenient. You're literally 5 minutes off of the Highway 403 on the south side, and then 6-7 minutes drive to the 401 on the north side. So whichever direction that you're commuting in the GTA, you're so covered and you're centrally located. You're like 6 minutes from Square One Shopping Mall, and also in the East Credit neighborhood is the Heartland Town Center. So as you can see on this upper corner here where it says Costco. So this is big box shops like Costco, you've got Walmart, Winners. There's tons of brand name outlet stores as well. It's great for shopping. All kinds of restaurants for the foodie lovers and everything that you need for day-to-day living without ever having to leave the neighborhood. Now I'm going to flip over and show you what I love about East Credit is absolutely the variety of houses that will literally fit any size of families. Okay, so this would be all kinds of budgets. You've got semi-detached, you have beautiful detached homes, and you've got lots of townhouses across pretty much every budget imaginable. It's generally one of those neighborhoods where there is something for every family, whether you're just starting out or you're moving up. So right now in our market, townhouses are around $800,000, semis around $900K, and detached homes you can find anything between $1 million to 1.5. And if you want something newer, there's a little subdivision just right here, a little pocket where houses are newer built, and it's a great little street here, and I can show you right on the screen here. So personally, for me, schools is awesome as well. We've been living here with my son. My son grew up here. He went through all the local schools. He's now at Rick Hansen Secondary School. And also, it's a great school. And also what's really well known is the St. Joseph Catholic Secondary. A lot of his friends go there as well, which is also very well known and highly regarded in this area. And East Credit is where you have lots of parks, lots of green space. And honestly, this is one thing I really love about living in East Credit. There's the Credit River that runs along, tons of nature walks, trails, all by the river, lots of forests. It's like having that right in your backyard. It's right next door to Streetsville, which I'm going to show you next. And then here's something that's really interesting, and it has to do with the Braeban Golf Course. And actually, it's something that not many people know. It used to be a landfill site way back in the day, and it was capped and then transformed into a full golf course, which is pretty cool, and only the locals know about it. The other thing is East Credit consistently ranks as one of the safest areas in Mississauga. The crime rates here are below the city average, and it's just full of families. So if you have children, and if you want a quiet, safe, established community that's full of nature and parks, and with great highway access, a real range of housing options for every budget, and lots of shopping convenience, honestly, East Credit checks all of the boxes. And I can say that from my own personal experience of living here for many years. So next up, Streetsville, which is just right next door to East Credit, running along all of the Credit River. And honestly, this one might be my personal favorite one to film because it just feels like a village. Streetsville has the small town charm that is hard to find anywhere else in the GTA. You've got independent cafes, a walkable main street, old Victorian homes. It's a real village right in the heart of Mississauga. So along Queen Street is really the heart of the village here. It's fully walkable. It's lined with local shops, beauty salons, restaurants. And if you have children, you have to check out Murphy's Ice Cream. It's a local institution at this point because we've actually been coming here for more than 15 years. And it's still the same owner, Frank, who runs it with his daughter. And he hires students. And there's always a big lineup in the summer. So now Streetsville is a much smaller community. So there are definitely a couple of low-rise apartment buildings. So you can find something here as affordable as starting at $380,000. And the other thing that Streetsville has is a great condo townhouse pockets along Falconer. And right now in our market, it's about $600K. Where, we've helped a lot of our clients who are first-time homeowners to be able to get into a 3-bedroom family-size home. You can also get a semi-detached here for under $900,000. And then older detached homes are actually in the $900,000 range. And then, of course, the larger houses that are renovated on larger lots could be found in the $1.2 million to $1.5 million. Okay, so you have a really good variety. And there's also a lot of custom built homes that are huge. And of course, they're going to be very, very expensive. So there are custom built homes here in Streetsville that are between $2 million to $3 million right now in our market. One thing that makes Streetsville really unique is the housing mix. So you've got a lot of the older bungalows with large lots, and many of these are being rebuilt into modern detached homes here. So you can walk down a street and then you see this beautiful combination of older character homes next to brand new builds. And it's just not a cookie cutter kind of neighborhood, not at all. Everything looks very unique. You've got so much variety and unique architecture throughout Streetsville. Now, if you have children, in terms of schools, Streetsville has several highly rated schools. And because the community is so tight-knit, a lot of families actually specifically target the area of living in Streetsville for that very reason. So one that comes up a lot is Vista Heights. It is known as the #1 French immersion program in Mississauga. And a lot of families actually specifically choose this school because of this. And as I mentioned before, because you've got the Credit River running all along Streetsville, there are lots of trails that run along the river, lots of green space. You've got tons of greenery for picnics, nature walks, and also a lot of playgrounds for children as well. So on top of that, you also have the Streetsville Memorial Pool, which is the outdoor pool at the Streetsville Recreation Center. And that's a really huge hit with families in the summertime. Now, Streetsville is consistently rated as one of the safest, more family-friendly pockets of Mississauga. If you want that small town feel with cafes and character homes, walkability, and a real mix of old and new architecture combined, Streetsville is very unique. Honestly, besides maybe Clarkson, there isn't anything else like it in Mississauga. Now let's talk about Central Erin Mills. This is by far one of the best established family-oriented neighborhoods, hands down, in Mississauga. Now it's been developing even more with a lot of new condos, and has become even more convenient. It's right now becoming the second city center of Mississauga after Square One. It's not as busy as Square One. And what you have here is you've got Erin Mills Town Center over here on one corner, and you also have the Credit Valley Hospital right here on the corner, and then surrounded by tons of condos around and very easy access to the Highway 403. One of the bigger changes that are happening right here is the new Daniels condos developments. And honestly, this is turning Central Erin Mills into a bit of a second city center of Mississauga. So for first-time home buyers, this is huge because houses in this area can be quite expensive. But now with the new condos, we're offering a lot more affordability and entry price point into this neighborhood. So we're seeing a lot of newcomers also choosing to rent here, specifically to be able to be closer to the excellent schools because they know the reputation. And also they don't have to deal with the density and the congestion that's happening around Square One. So here in Central Erin Mills, you can get a one bedroom condo for as low as 420,000, and you can also get two bedroom condos for 520,000. And then you also have a variety of beautiful townhouses in different sizes. And in our current market, prices are much lower now. So you can get a townhouse for, three bedroom townhouse for family size for 750,000. And right now, Central Erin Mills is also lined with beautiful streets of detached homes, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, all types of sizes. And detached houses you can get around $1 million to 1.2 million. So it's a lot more affordable than ever before. Another big addition to this part of the city is the newly built Churchill Meadows Community Center. It's a gigantic 75,000 square feet facility, and right around it is this massive 57-acre park. It's actually been renamed Mattamy Sports Park as part of a long-term sponsorship agreement. And it's basically a huge recreational hub for families in this whole area, serving the Central Erin Mills and Churchill Meadows. So it's amazing for families with children. And then the schools. Central Erin Mills is so well known for its #1 top high school in Mississauga, John Fraser Secondary. And just across the street is the Gonzaga Catholic School, which is also one of the top, one, and is really one of the reasons why many families specifically look to move to this area of Mississauga. And of course, it's another consistently low crime community. One of the reasons it's such a popular choice for families with children. And then, of course, you've got healthcare. You've got the Credit Valley Hospital just literally right there. It's great for families, for seniors, for children, for having babies. So having a hospital, it's a really big deal. And now we're going to move on to neighborhood number 4. So now we move down to the south of Mississauga for the lakeside best neighborhoods for families. Now, Lorne Park is very different from the other neighborhoods that I've been showing you. This is one of the most prestigious, exclusive pockets, not just in Mississauga, but in all of Canada. For a lot of families, the school district here is the #1 reason they move to Lorne Park. You've got Lorne Park Secondary School, which is consistently ranked as one of the top high schools in the entire GTA. It is very well known for academic excellence, competitive sports programs, and they have a specialized extended French program. And if you're considering private school, well, Lorne Park has it here a lot. You're just a short drive from the elite academies like Holy Name of Mary College or Mentor College. So raising kids in Lorne Park, raising children here in Lorne Park, does set them up with a clear path to top universities. Unlike a lot of the newer, higher density subdivisions in Mississauga, Lorne Park is famous for its massive estate-sized lots. Often you've got 100+ feet wide and 150 feet deep plus, and combine that with stunning mature tree canopy, you've got incredible backyard privacy. You have sprawling lawns, custom pools, and a real outdoor living space. Many streets here don't even have sidewalks, so that gives you, a whole area, such a peaceful, semi-rural, almost like a cottage in the city feel. So as you can imagine, there are no condos here for sale. So there's only a handful of condo townhouses available for $1 million or more. Now, there was a lucky buyer this winter. They grabbed a townhouse under power of sale for $750,000. But other than that, as you can see, pretty much everything for sale here is $1 million and up. So detached houses, I would say, is like 1.2 million in our market. all the way up to 10 million, 12 million estate homes. This is for sure the highest priced neighborhoods in Mississauga. So if I could just scroll down, you'll be able to see some of these seriously expensive houses. So this is definitely not your typical neighborhood in Mississauga. You've got gated communities and multi-million dollar estates. So now I'm into the 3 million already. And the thing is, Lorne Park is also just such a stunning area to drive through. You'll see preserved mid-century bungalows right next to massive Cape Cod estates and brand new modern custom builds. Because land here is so scarce and valuable, it's very common for older homes to be purchased very, very high price just for the lot. And then they can build a 4,000, 5,000 plus luxury custom homes in its place. And that is very common. Honestly, driving through Lorne Park feels like entering a private community, even though there are actually no gates. I was so surprised. Recently, I drove through here with clients of mine who are moving here from South Africa, and they just cannot believe. They're so amazed how safe, how beautiful the community is, and there are no security gates. And Lorne Park has some of the best access to Lake Ontario and waterfront green space in the province. Families can walk or bike down to Jack Darling Memorial Park, which has a massive splash pad. They've got tennis courts, picnic areas, and of course, one of the best beachfront right on Lake Ontario. You've also got the Rattray Marsh Conservation Area, which has these beautiful raised boardwalk trails over a very natural wetland. And then the waterfront trail runs through right along here. So there's endless weekend recreation for active families here in the summer season. And of course, Lorne Park is consistently one of the safest neighborhoods in Mississauga. So the combination of low density, large lots, and a very established community really contributes to that. And it's a short drive to the Trillium Health Partners hospital, and it's only about 5 minutes away. And what's really great too is you've got the Port Credit GO station and the Clarkson GO station. So in terms of commuting to Toronto, is super convenient. You've got lots of boutique shopping, walkable streets, and lots of dining options as well. So this neighborhood, Lorne Park, is definitely for the very prestigious, very high income families, and also busy commuting parents who have to catch the GO train, and they can be downtown in their office in Toronto in under 25 minutes. Is really the ultimate balance of a quiet luxury lifestyle with effortless access to the city of Toronto. So last but definitely not least, Port Credit, the village on the lake. So Port Credit is very special. It's right on the lake. You've got the waterfront trail, the marina, a really vibrant restaurant and cafe scene, and the GO train station, Port Credit GO train, which is very easy access into Toronto. And unlike the other GO train stations, this one actually brings you to and from Toronto at very frequent schedules throughout the entire day. So the commute to Toronto is awesome from Port Credit. Port Credit also has some excellent schools, including Port Credit Secondary School, which has a strong reputation. And there's also Cawthra Park Secondary, which is right next door. It is famous across the whole Peel region for its audition-based regional arts program, covering music, drama, dance, and visual arts. And I have clients whose children go there for that. Because it is a regional program, students from anywhere in Mississauga, they can apply. So living right here in Port Credit makes the commute incredibly easy if your child gets into the school. The waterfront trail is incredible. Just you've got miles of walking and biking paths right along Lake Ontario, plus of course several parks that are tucked into the residential streets. Commute-wise, like I mentioned, the Port Credit GO station, it runs very frequent trains throughout the day. So getting into Union Station for work is genuinely so easy. And this is a big draw for families with a parent that's commuting to downtown Toronto. And in the summertime, Port Credit really comes alive. You've got the Rib Fest and so many outdoor festivals like the Jazz Music Festival right by the lake. And that's a huge part of the community vibe here. And from Port Credit, you're only 5 minutes drive from Port Credit to Trillium Hospital, which is under construction to develop into the Peter Gilgan Hospital, which will be the largest, most advanced hospital project in Canada. And that's going to complete in about 6 to maybe 8 years from now. So if lifestyle is a priority for you, waterfront living, walkability, restaurants, and you want that village by the lake feel, Port Credit is genuinely one of the best places to raise a family if it fits your budget. And I'm just going to show you here in my real estate system here. So in Port Credit, you've got a real mix of some older buildings that are very cheap and affordable. So you can get one bedroom in the $400,000 range. And then you've got a mix of newer build condos as well. So it's a really nice mix of old and new. So you can definitely get an apartment under $500K in Port Credit. And then of course, there are also quite a few selection of condo townhouses. Right now in our market, they're about $700,000 range. Okay. Now, so there's definitely something for the more affordable budget, right? As I'm showing you here. But there is also some very expensive houses and custom built and newer built houses as well in Port Credit, which makes it so fascinating. So I'm going to show you these. So you've got a lot of builders who actually buy the land or old houses, tear it down, and then build custom homes. So you've got some really cool, like modern semis, like this one here. Check that out. That's totally very, very modern semi. And you've also got this style of detached homes as well. And you can see the prices. They're pretty crazy, right? So for semi, you're looking at 1.8 million. Over here, there's another semi here. These are all semis. So what a lot of the custom builders are doing in Port Credit is taking that large lot, right, tearing down the old houses and then building semi-detached. So they're quite expensive. As you can see here, you can get semi-detached for $2 million. So imagine the detached houses. So I'm going to show you some of the detached houses as well. So beautiful. So various different modern style of architecture, as you can see here. And because of the lakefront, location, obviously the land value here is very, very premium. So here you go. Here's a beautiful new custom built detached home. Now it's been on the market for a very long time, for almost a year. It's listed for $4 million. It's not yet selling. Okay. And then of course, these are the great examples of some of the very expensive real estate in Port Credit. So that's 5 of my top picks for families in Mississauga in 2026. You've got East Credit, Streetsville, Central Erin Mills, Lorne Park, and Port Credit. Each neighborhood has its own personality, price points, and lifestyle. And honestly, the best one really depends on what matters most to your family. Is it schools? Is it walkability? Is it newer construction? Is it your budget? So if you're thinking about making a move, whether you're upsizing or downsizing, or just exploring your options here in Mississauga, I'd love to help you figure out which of these neighborhoods actually fits your lifestyle and your budget. Drop me a comment below. Let me know which neighborhood is your favorite, which one that you would want more information on. And don't forget to subscribe also. And I'm going to be doing more of these neighborhood breakdowns for you every week. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching today.